I don't wake up to an alarm or have a fancy routine. I'm a young mom of 3 and I work about 20 hours a week in my business that brings in multi-six figures in revenue and has for multiple years now. So I really just wanted to share in this video some habits and routines that I have as a mom entrepreneur that have honestly been so incredible for me in a mom who wants to truly feel incredibly present with them while also having a business that I run part-time, and that gives us so much freedom as a family because it allows my husband to be at home as well. So I'm going to be sharing with you some things that I have done to structure my days and even my weeks as a whole, how I'm actually getting things done, and just what my habits and routines look like in order to make this happen, to stick to around 20 hours a week that I'm working in my business. So the first one here is I love having slow mornings. As a family and just me and my husband, we love taking our time in the morning to wake up, to get ready for the day. So we easily spend a couple of hours as a family, with spending it with our kids, making breakfast, making a coffee, hanging out, and really just enjoying that time together and taking it slow. And we are definitely not early risers, but we really enjoy and savor having that time in the morning to just spend together every single day. So that's the first one. I don't wake up to an alarm. I either wake up to my kiddo or I wake up to just whenever my body decides to wake up, if my husband already got up with the kids. And I really then just take it so slow. And I feel so much better throughout my day if I had a really slow morning to start the day. The second thing that comes to mind here with structuring, like how you go about structuring your days and your weeks, is creating a routine that works for the season of motherhood that you're in. That is one almost like habit or routine that I've done ever since becoming a mom that has been a game changer. So when I first had my twins, my husband was working a 9 to 5, and he even went into the office a couple days a week from pretty early on. And so I did not have could not work during the day. It was either when he got back home or, maybe in the morning or on the weekends. Like there was a lot of that happening. And so I really had to figure out how to get strategic with little pockets of time that I had because I was the primary caretaker of our twins. Obviously I was, breastfeeding around the clock. And so I just did not have the capacity to I could not work an 8-hour workday. Let's just say that. And so in that season, I really had to get creative with how can I use an hour here or an hour there to get the work done that I needed. And I really honestly for the first 8 months just didn't work a ton until my husband ended up leaving his 9 to 5 so that I could put more time into my business. And so that's what it looked like a lot in those early days. And that's what it looked like a lot too when I had my my second pregnancy, third baby. The first several months, it was a lot of, because I was nursing around the clock again. And it looked a lot like, I had to take a break to nurse every 2 to 3 hours usually. And so I had to get a lot of work done in a couple hour window before I would have to take a break. And sometimes I could do some work while nursing her, but it just really depended on the time of day and whatever. So those 2 seasons of motherhood, especially early postpartum, that has worked so incredibly well for me to still get things done. And then as my kids got older, especially once they got into the toddler phase and weren't nursing as much anymore, then I could pivot a little bit. And I really enjoy what I enjoy most when I'm not nursing a baby is having 3 work days where I am head down, getting a ton of stuff done, a ton of deep work done. And then that's the main time that I'm working throughout the week. And there are things I'll normally check in on or do throughout the other days, checking on my ads or posting on Instagram. But I really have 3 main deep work days where I am head down, getting a lot of things done for creating content like this or for our launches or creating new ads. Really stuff like that is on my deep work days. And that's kind of so for me, that's what I feel really good about. And so I know if I get so much done in a 6 or 7 hour time span, 3 days a week, the other 4 days a week, I barely have to think about work because I get so much done on those 3 days. And I find that when I work more than that, have more work days than that, it just for me and what I really want in the way that I want to be with my girls throughout the week, it pulls too much from that. I want those days where I can wake up and take them to the park or take them on a play date. And so the other 2 days of the week, I'm doing that. And then my husband has a break at home. He can work on projects and things like that or help with things in the business. And on the weekend, then we get to do things as a family. So I've just found, that was kind of a long one, but I found that really picking like with the season of motherhood that you're in, thinking about how can you get creative and how can you use your time well with what you have. And that might look different than other moms or other business owners, but thinking about what works for you is really important here. And then number 3, I kind of alluded to this in number 2. Number 3 is I do have, and you can see like I'm sitting in it now, a dedicated office space. And I have found that to be really helpful, especially with kids, to have a space where I know this is where I sit down and get stuff done. And it kind of gives my kids a boundary too, a little bit, for them to help them understand, like when mommy's in her office, that she is working, and then when I'm out of my office, like I'm not working anymore. And that for me has helped so much. And again, when I am in my office, it is like deep work. Like I am not doing fluffy light stuff that I could do, like that's just easy to, like posting on my Instagram story. Sometimes I do that on the go, like if I'm sitting in the car, or if I am like right before I go to get ready for bed, like if I have 10 minutes, because it's really light work that doesn't take a lot of brain power. But that deep work, I'm making sure I'm getting as much done as I can in my office, or things like filming content, because I can't do that around my kids. Like if my kids are independently playing and I can post on Instagram, like that usually works because it takes like 5 or 10 minutes. Usually I finish before they're even like, and they're still off playing, versus I can't film a video around my kids because they're instantly going to be like, Mom, what are you doing? Can I be in it? Can we, talk? And so just saving that those office days I do have, those 3 days a week, are truly for dedicated, like deep work time that is, I truly can't do around my kids. Okay, number 4 is I plan out my weeks every single week. So normally it's either the Friday before or even the Monday of when a week begins. I am planning out on those, especially those 3 big work days, like what am I going to be doing that week? And sometimes it will fluctuate and change throughout the week based on priorities changing or new things coming up. But I love planning out my weeks ahead of time because it really does help to go into it with a plan, knowing what you're going to do and not wondering what you're going to do. And there is a big difference there. So when I get into my office, I know exactly the things I'm going to be working on versus coming into my office and not being really sure what project I'm working on or what I'm going to be doing. And then I get distracted on Instagram, and then I check my emails, and then I check messages, and then before I know it, an hour's gone by and I haven't actually gotten any deep work done. So I really love having a plan. I actually have my weekly planning template. I can put a link down in the description if you want to check it out. I've used this template for literally years now through Trello, and it's how I plan out my weeks, where it has like each week is in a list and it has the days, and then I put like what I'm doing each day, and it's how I just keep my to-dos and brain organized whenever I'm going about my weeks. And the next thing here, which kind of goes off of that, one thing that I do in the way that I structure my weeks is I have just one, what I call kind of catch-all admin day. And what I mean by that is if I have a task that is not necessarily deep work, or I know it'll take me less than an hour, or even as short as like 5 or 10 minutes, it all goes thrown into one day. So for me, that's Mondays are like my admin catch-all days. And when something pops up throughout the week, if it is not urgent and doesn't have to be done that day and it can wait till the upcoming Monday, I will add that to the list for Monday. And then Monday is when I sit down and knock out like all of those little things that I've been meaning to do. Like, oh, I need to send this person this link to this thing. I need to upload this headshot somewhere. I need to set up this account. I need to go pay these taxes. Like whatever it is, I know it's just all those little things that can take 5 or 10 minutes. It sounds like, oh, I could just get that done today. But really, for your brain to switch out of deep work mode and to do things like that, like you get so much less done when you're like jumping from task to task like that. So I save all of those things for one day, when I know on Mondays I'm normally not going to get a ton of deep work done, but I'm going to knock out a lot of those things that take me an hour or less to accomplish and really just set myself up well for the week. So then my 2 other deep work days, like literally I have nothing else except 1 or 2 deep work tasks for like one big project that I'm working on, or 2 different things that I'm working on, whether it's sitting down and writing like an entire month's worth of emails, or whether it's filming videos for a new product, or whether it is, implementing more AI, like whatever it is, things that I know I'm going to need to sit down and like think deeply about it for a while, those get saved for those 2 work days. All right, number 6 here, and I get asked about this so much because I share this on my Instagram, but I track my time with Toggl. And guys, if you've never done that, it is a game changer. It's so eye-opening to see where you actually spend your time. So I will actually put a link in the description for a video we have on this channel about how to use Toggl, because it has truly helped me so much. It's a free program. I have never paid for it. I've used it for literally years to track how much time I spend on projects, on certain tasks. And this really goes into the next point I wanted to make, number 7, is to cut the fluff, okay? So you track your time in Toggl, really track like how you're spending your time when you are working. So that means for me, even if I'm like sitting in the car gonna post on Instagram, I pull up the app on my phone and I clock in to posting on Instagram as if I'm an employee of my business. I am making sure I am tracking my time. And then what's really cool is after even a week or 2 of doing this, you're gonna be really, like, it's gonna become probably glaringly obvious how much time you're actually spending on certain things that don't move the needle. So if things don't actually move the needle as far as growing the business, making more revenue, reaching your goals, really be like, cut so much of the fluff. And there's so many things that I've had to say no to as far as different collaborations, or I'm invited to speak in a lot of like virtual summits or bundles, or just so many different things that I have to say no to, because I know that my best energy is spent, especially in this stage of my business, my energy is best spent on the things that are going to actually grow the revenue. And really it comes down to marketing. So that's where I spend like 90% of my time. And I know that because I track my time. I know where I'm spending my time. And so you have to track your time though, to know how to cut the fluff and to cut anything that is not actually moving the needle. All right. And then number 8 here is also like, once you are tracking your time and kind of see like where you actually spend your time or how you might want to change things, the 3 things I like to think about are to batch, automate, or delegate. So if something is taking me way too much time, but I know that's still something that moves the needle, I need to batch it more. So for example, instead of just sitting down writing 1 email a week, maybe sit down, write 4 or 5 for the entire month at once, and then you knock it out at one time and you get it done faster than if you were to individually go and write that email once a week, right? When it comes to me, I mean, there's so much with this now when it comes to like workflows and even AI, like there's so much you can do to automate things. And so thinking about, is there a way you can do that and automate it with programs that you have or whatever? And the last one would be delegate. So again, if it is still a very important task that like needs to be done, but doesn't need to be done by you, or it could be done by someone better, that's where you can think about delegating it off to somebody else. All right. And then these last couple of habits and routines have been things that honestly just help me feel like I'm staying more on top of and like on top of my game in my business and doing a great job. And the first one, so this is number 9, is to review your numbers. Okay. Make sure that you know your numbers. You know how many leads you need in your business in order to make the sales that you want. If you're running ads, what is your cost to acquire a customer? How much are they spending with you upfront? What's your lifetime value of that customer? Thinking about even like stats for your platforms, like how many followers you have, how many views are you getting? Are you getting the traction that you want to? And that can really help you to see like where your buyers are coming from, what platforms are working for you, what needs to change in your strategy. Just make sure that you're tracking all of those different things when it comes to your business at minimum on a weekly basis. But some of these things, especially for me with ads, I'm tracking a lot of this on a daily basis at this point and making sure that I'm staying on top of things and I know exactly what's happening in my business at any point. And number 10 here is something that really helps me to feel on top of my game in my business is I prioritize real time off, and doing that and making that a habit throughout every single week, and also having trips and vacations where I go and I'm not working the whole time, and really just making sure that I am building in and layering in time where I turn my brain off, because that's going to make me a better business owner instead of constantly having it turned on, constantly checking in, constantly doing things, constantly feeling like I should do more. It allows me to truly take time off, enjoy to be like time with my husband, time with my kids, and time with friends and family, and really enjoy that and soak it in along the way instead of just committing so much of my mental energy just to work. And I know that can be so hard, especially when you're ambitious entrepreneur like I am, but I have found it to be so fruitful in the long term to making sure that I am in it for the long run, right? Like I am in this to be here for a while and I don't want to burn out anytime soon. So that's a really big way that I do that. And I just wanted to mention too, as far as like an extra bonus thing that I do is that I am very strategic about the way that I'm marketing my business. And that's so much about what I talk about when it comes to this channel and what I teach you guys. And I have another video where I deep dive into exactly how I think about my marketing, what I'm doing with marketing my business right now. And so I'll put the link on the screen right here. You can go ahead and click on over and watch that next. I think you'll really enjoy it if you really liked this video.